Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, October 27th, 2011, and we're going to go over the trades that set up this morning in the live trading room. Okay. We took a few trades. We we had way too many break-even trades this morning, but nevertheless, all the break-even trades went on to win. Hang on, I just scrolled back too far. I'm doing this again. All the break-even trades went on to win. I'll start right off with saying how we ended the morning. We were plus 12 ticks on the ES and come on, plus 9 ticks on the YM. All right, plus 12 on the ES and plus 9 on the YM. Now, we only took a couple of trades on the YM, and we took quite a few trades on the ES, and I'll go over all of them here in a second. All right. At least I think I will go over all of them here as soon as my charts start updating here for me. Sorry, when I do this recording, it uses up like every last ounce of memory that my computer has. I just got a message that says high CPU usage too. All right, so the first trade was right here. This was a regular trade for us. You see, we had the bubble. Excuse me. We had the bubble down here. When I say the bubble, I mean the red lines get outside the black bands. Down here on the chop bands, the red bands get outside the black like that. The first pullback to the BBC was right here. We entered it there, and we stayed in the trade until over here. It had gone plus one point in our favor, and so I moved my stop to break even, as I usually do when that happens, and it came back and stopped us out at break even right here before going on to reach the profit target. All right. The next opportunity, we had a little tiny bubble down here. You can see the bands just came outside right there. We had a pullback here. Same thing. That one went closer to the profit target. It actually went down and put in a little double bottom right here. It was 6 ticks, I think we had in that at one point, and it pulled back up and stopped us out of break even again before moving on to the profit target. All right, those were the first couple of trades. Yeah, we're getting to the next one. All right, again, we had the bubble down here and the pullback up to the BBC. We entered here at the BBC. Again, we had 5 or 6 ticks profit in the trade before we moved our stop to break even. And it came back and got us at break even again before going to the profit target. All right, we did end up having a winning trade in here somewhere. I think the next one I took a point out of. Yeah, this one. This one here. We waited for it to pull back up here to the BBC. It went down here and put in a double bottom. When it scrolls a little farther right, you'll see that. It put in a double bottom here, and I moved my stop up to plus 1 point. So we got stopped out at plus 1 point. It came within a tick of hitting our profit target, I think, right there. Excuse me. Then it moved around here. This was actually the George trade right here. We had price move at least 3 ticks outside of the elbow, and it had a smooth retracement back down to the BBC. We entered at the BBC on a limit order, and we took 8 ticks out of that trade. All right. That's what got us to 12 ticks, plus 12 ticks, and we didn't have any more trades after that this morning. The morning session ended right here. Now, during the break, you see we had a bubble start here, but we didn't have any pullback to the BBC until, I think, right now. I'm not sure. Still scrolling over. All right, we still haven't had a pullback down to the BBC to give us any opportunity. All right, now that one trade that we took, that was the George trade we're calling it. Let me scroll back to it. It was also a trade here on the 10K. It was one of our regular trades here on the 10K after the bullish cross. We had a pullback down to the BBC, and it was the exact same entry, and that moved up. All right, so that was a nice trade this morning. That was the ES. Now, let me move over here to the YM, and I'll show you what we did over here. Okay. And Dwayne can talk about this a little bit more. We both took this trade right here. And I'll talk about it, and then when I'm done with the recording, Dwayne can talk about it some more because his voice doesn't actually get recorded right now in the recaps. And I'm scrolling back here. There we go. This was the first trade of the day right here. We had a bearish cross and a pullback right here. When it pulled back, it went down in our favor quite a bit. I moved my stop to break even, and it took me out of break even. I only had 7 ticks risk on the trade, so had I not moved my stop to break even, this one would have stopped me out before it moved, before it moved way down. All right, that was the first trade that we took. We actually ended up losing 1 tick on that trade. It didn't stop me at break even. It stopped me at minus a tick. And the second trade that we took, nope, this is back to the first one right here. All right, give me just a second here. I'm trying to deal with these. There we go. This was the second trade that we took. We had a bullish cross back here, and we were looking for the pullback down to the BBC right here to go long. And we did go long right there at the BBC. We had no drawdown on the trade, I don't think. We were looking for it to get up to the MA1 right here. All right, right there at the MA1. And that happened to be at the time, from the time we entered the trade to the time that the MA1 moved down here, it ended up being just 9 ticks. That's where we got our 9 ticks. All right. Now, when it hit the MA1, it took us out, and we got our profit. And then price retraced a little bit, then it went back through it. And obviously, you can see now we got in at 54 is where I got in on that one. And you can see from 1254, it's gone up, up to 34, we'll say, 80 ticks. 80 ticks or 80 points. And that's it. That was the trading this morning. Now, we did go over a couple other things, and I'll show those to you guys in here right now. This is crude oil on a 10-tick range chart. All right. I went over, this is exactly how we trade the Russell as well, but some of the guys in the room this morning were asking about crude oil and can the stuff be used with crude. Basically the same exact setup that we use on the Russell, on the 10-tick range chart anyway. When all these are going in the same direction, if you're going short, you want to have red headed down on top. The first pullback up to the MA1 right here, all right? And in the opposite direction right here on the long side, and over here on the short side, and back over here on the long side, and over here some more on the long side. We didn't have everything going in the same direction in here. There was too much divergence between them. And right here was the last one on the long side. Okay, that's crude. Now let me just do something here quickly for you. Without drawing anything on it, I'm just going to switch over here. Okay, Bert. Without drawing anything on it, I'm just going to switch over here, and this is the Russell. Now, we had some of the partners in the room, were in the room for about 2 minutes this morning, and they had made their money on this move right here. Same thing right here. Everything's going down. The pullback up to the MA1 right here, and we made $400 in about 2 minutes. That was the move down. This one right here, if you had tried this one would have stopped you out. Okay. Right here, again, on the move down. Right here on the move up. We had no more move down over here. And we had no more move up either. Alright, so right over here, actually, this one would have stopped you out too on the move down. Just bringing it current. Okay, but there were, if you scroll back a little farther, if I scroll back a little farther, pre-market, there were a few more of these, like right here on the way up. There was another one over, back there a little farther. Over here on the way up. That one would have stopped you out right there. But I just wanted to point out the Russell and the crude can also be traded in here. Now, one more market I want to bring over here for you. This is the 6E. Now, there's a bunch of different ways to trade the 6E. I'll bring it up a little closer here, but one thing I wanted to point out, and this I had mentioned this morning in the live trading room at one point. I was looking for a pullback here. This is actually the BBC. I know it's black. It's on the triple trend indicator. but I was looking for this pullback right here to 141. And I mentioned that when it gets to the even numbers like 141, 142, 143, you'll often see a bounce. That one bounced from 141 all the way up here to 142 and 142.14. That's 100 ticks, or the equivalent of 25 points on the ES. All right, I just wanted to point that out as well. And that was the morning. So there was plenty of opportunity this morning in all the different markets. All right, and that is where I'm going to end the recording.